Jeff Plate reflects on SAVATAGE's Christmas Eve, Sarajevo 12/24 and their epic return. Once upon a time, drummer Jeff Plate had simple aspirations to record an album and go on tour. Fast forward over 30 years since he joined SAVATAGE during their 1994 tour for Handful of Rain, and his achievements have far surpassed those initial goals. He has contributed to 3 iconic SAVATAGE studio albums and a live record that immortalized the final show of the Handful tour. His journey also includes multiple gold and platinum records with the TRANS-SIBERIAN Orchestra, 5 albums with Metal Church from 2006 to 2017, 2 records with his own band Alta Rain, and countless performances across the globe. Since their last world tour in support of 2001's Poets and Madmen, SAVATAGE has been largely inactive, with the exception of a one-off performance at Germany's Wacken Open Air Festival in 2015. The band's energy has primarily been channeled into the TRANS-SIBERIAN Orchestra, which emerged from the success of the instrumental Christmas Eve, Sarajevo 12/24. While the Wacken performance sparked hopes for a reunion, various challenges, including the 2017 passing of their longtime producer and lyricist Paul O'Neill, the global pandemic in 2020, and ongoing health issues of the band's core member John Oliva, prevented a full comeback. However, the tides turned late last year when SAVATAGE announced their first tour in 23 years. Kicking off this month, they will perform in Brazil, Argentina, and Chile before heading to Europe for a series of festival and headline shows. Although Oliva will not be on this tour due to health concerns, he remains the band's musical director, guiding the Dead Winter Dead lineup. Plate, bassist Johnny Lee Middleton, vocalist Zach Stevens, and guitarists Chris Caffrey and Al Petrelli as they rehearse at the iconic Morrisound recording studio in Tampa, Florida, where Plate first met Oliva and O'Neill 31 years ago. In a recent conversation, Plate shared his thoughts on SAVATAGE's return. Reflecting on the 30th anniversary of Dead Winter Dead, he recalled, "Going into Dead Winter Dead, I was the new guy. I didn't have a say in the lineup decisions. John and Paul had already crafted the album and I was just there to follow their lead." The song Christmas Eve, Sarajevo 12/24 wasn't the main focus of the album at first, but it ended up being the cornerstone of our future. He continued, "In the studio, I learned that Paul prioritized the lyrics, story, rhythm, and melody above all else. He wanted the drumming to be solid and straightforward, which was a lesson for me as I was eager to add my flair." Christmas Eve, Sarajevo 12/24 sparked significant discussions between John and Paul, and it ultimately paved the way for the TRANS-SIBERIAN Orchestra. Ironically, it also helped SAVATAGE reclaim their presence in Europe, leading to sold-out shows in early '96. It was an exhilarating experience. Plate also reminisced about the contrasting experiences of the Handful of Rain and Dead Winter Dead tours. The Dead Winter Dead tour was a turning point for us. When we first performed in Bochum, Germany, the energy was electric. The venue was packed and the audience was singing along. It was a moment that solidified our lineup and set the tone for the next several years. We knew we had something special. He emphasized the chemistry within the band, stating, "When I joined SAVATAGE, I felt like I found my home. My style fit perfectly, and that's why I've been here for over 31 years. Even now, as we revisit and reconstruct these songs, the connection remains strong. The camaraderie we built in TSO has kept us sharp, and I believe we are better musicians now than ever before." Reflecting on the impact of Christmas Eve, Sarajevo 12/24 in America and the success of Dead Winter Dead in Europe, Plate noted, "The new lineup was embraced by the European audience. They take the music seriously, listening intently, which is different from the more party-centric atmosphere in America. The concept behind Dead Winter Dead resonated deeply with them, and as we prepare for our upcoming shows, I'm excited to revisit that incredible music." When asked why SAVATAGE's music transcends language barriers, Plate replied, "There's a genuine sincerity in our music.